Good morning, everyone. This is today's edition of Severe Thunderstorm Outlooks, and it looks as if things are settling down a little bit. That's good news because here's the latest from the Storm Prediction Center. Their tally of tornadoes so far this year, 2025, approaching 1,000. And just look at the steps, look at the outbreaks. You can see these lines right here are the individual outbreaks. There's that activity around May 14th, or I'm sorry, March 14th. And if you're in the Ozarks, that's the Bakersfield tornado that day. But look at all these outbreaks. So it's really pretty amazing. And you can just see how the numbers step up, especially here in recent days, far outpacing the 706. That is the trend line for, it looks like a 15-year period there is what they use. That's a 10-year period. I'm sorry. So yeah, pretty amazing. And we could use a break, and we're going to get one. Let's take a look at the morning satellite loop here. If it looks a lot like yesterday's, you're right. It's a very stagnant weather pattern where we have constant thunderstorm clusters, constant blow-off of cirrus clouds from those clusters. It's definitely a flow in the upper atmosphere that's primarily west to east, hasn't moved a whole lot. And the severe weather outlook is only gradually moving around now, but it was focusing the same areas again and again. And actually today it kind of does. Let me show you the radar loop. And this is also superimposed on top of today's SPC Outlook. So there's a 3 out of 5 chance of severe weather down here now. So these are the active rain-producing clusters. And that area is not particularly unstable. It's good at producing hail in some areas. But then you start getting down here, it leaves these outflow boundaries, and those are what is going to interact with the atmosphere today and produce some severe weather down that way. Take a closer look at that. And it is possible to get severe thunderstorms as far north as southeast Kansas and southwest Missouri, but broadly, the level 2 out of 5 stretches from Birmingham, Alabama through all of Arkansas, back into Oklahoma, most of it, and into the panhandle of Texas, and then we reach that enhanced area of 3 out of 5 risk. There is a tornado risk that this hasn't been verifying very well the last couple of days. It's because of uncertainties in the low-level wind field mostly, and not being able to tie everything together. That's what happens. You can get supercell thunderstorms, but their ability to produce tornadoes is really uniquely linked to the low-level wind field, which sometimes is a variable of just what happened an hour before the tornado forms. I mean, it's really hard for the computer models to nail down still. But still, there is a 5% chance from Lubbock almost to Amarillo, Texas, and almost to Oklahoma City, southwest corner of Oklahoma today. The Nadocast, if you want to know what the link to that is, look in the description. Does definitely put, and they use a 5% category risk for Brown in almost the exact same area. They also put a secondary maximum somewhere between Birmingham and Huntsville, Alabama for today, Sunday. The overall severe weather threat from SIPS focuses on the Texas Panhandle and Oklahoma, and that matches really well. Their individual tornado forecast has a 5% chance right around Lubbock and Amarillo, Texas. And if we look at CSU's model, they put that same tornado risk there. They've been very insistent on putting a tornado risk in parts of Arkansas over the last couple of days. That has not panned out, but it is something that the learning model has looked at in comparing computer models now as they're running to in the past, but also learning from those as it goes along. So we'll see how that pans out. That large hail threat definitely in western Oklahoma and into the Texas Panhandle. Texas Panhandle is where you'd want to be if you want to see severe weather today, I think, from a probability standpoint. Then looking ahead to Monday, Memorial Day, Dallas, almost over to Midland, almost down to Austin, a level 2 out of 5 severe weather risk. They do put a slightly less tornado risk up than today's. That does include the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Waco is included in that. San Angelo, Texas is included in that, and so is Abilene, Texas on Monday. Looking for verification from CSU. They put, again, the tornado probabilities deeper into Arkansas. I find that very interesting, and it hasn't really panned out as far as I haven't really done an exact comparison, but it doesn't seem as if the tornadoes in general have really shown up. And certainly this model has been shifting it around a little bit more east on almost all the outlooks than anybody else has done. On Tuesday, just a broad brush, lowest 1 out of 5 risk of severe thunderstorms covering central and south Texas, Louisiana, and stretching all the way to Jackson, Florida, including Montgomery, Alabama, and Jackson, Mississippi. And the outlook from CSU verifies that. They still put a tornado outlook in the Tennessee River Valley and northern Alabama and Georgia, whereas the hail threat sinks much further to the south. So that the severe weather, the wind threat as well. And then things calm down. Wednesday, maybe a high plains threat. And Thursday, deep south really, and diminishing. And by Friday, East Coast really, that's about it. And not a very high probability. And then by Saturday, we're still looking at the East Coast as a possibility for some severe weather. But again, the probabilities are pretty low and not very widespread. Again, looking for good news. Severe probabilities, April 22nd, that's the closest date I have, are centered generally, climatologically speaking, right on Oklahoma. And while that has been true here lately, it is going to calm down quite a bit and shift, as you saw. The supercell composite from NIU has Texas as the basically the summary of where the worst of it will be. And this summarizes what I just showed you. It's a week of data ending on the 31st, so it ends on Saturday. So it exactly matches every single day I showed you. And you can see a little bit insight as to why those outlooks are placed where they were. And then things really quiet down. June 1st through the 7th, the supercell index percentage goes way down for the country and then peaks back up June 8th through June 14th. And the last charts I'll show you here, this is the European model. This is the EPS, so it's an ensemble mean. And it's also the 500 millibar flow, the mean, and also the colors are the departures. So this is what's called a ridge of high pressure. This is a trough of low pressure. And then these blue and orange areas are departures from normal. So as you would expect, if you see a pretty steep ridge like this and a deep color, that means when you look at the climatology, this ridge is unusually strong. That's one way to look at it. And then again, with the trough, if you see low departures from normal that are blue, that means it's a rather notable trough for this time of year. So the upshot of all this is cool air here, basically. This is a much warmer air pattern here. If you take a look at the dew points, and that is, there are only so many fields that this model produces using this particular projection. The weeklies are what they're called, and but this is dew points, so it's the only instability thing I have, but it's a pretty powerful one because it is showing a large departure down from normal dew points from Kansas eastward to Pennsylvania up into the Great Lakes. So that means drier air. So the air source over this region over the next week or so is going to be continental. So it's going to be coming in from the reaches of Canada, dry by its very nature. The Gulf is usually what supplies us with moisture like this. It's being shunted way off into New Mexico through that period. So that's why the severe weather is experiencing a little bit of a shutdown. And as you saw, when we're approaching 1,000 tornadoes, that's good news. We'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching today's edition of Severe Thunderstorm Outlooks. This is published every day after the morning Storm Prediction Center update. Also, remember to check that site off on day one because they update it fairly frequently. If you like this video, please like it. Also, you can subscribe to the channel for more content just like this.